And welcome to another edition of A Closer Look. I'm your host, Dwayne Nelson. Glad to have you today, and I am speaking with the Executive Director of the Downtown Kingsport Association, Melissa Sanders. And thank you for being here today and taking time to talk to me today about downtown Kingsport.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Now, you're kind of new to the area, and tell the folks a little bit about where you came from and how long you've been with DKA.
Well, it'll be a year this Sunday that I moved to Kingsport. I moved here from Melbourne, Florida. My fiance at the time, now husband, got a job as the wellness director at the YMCA. And so I kind of missed him, so I followed. And so soon later, I was working for Dale Carnegie, and I'm still a huge supporter of Dale Carnegie in the area. And just recently, about a month and a half ago, I started working for the Downtown Kingsport Association.
And I'm sure you were talking, you kind of got your feet wet back when you first started, because Fun Fest was just like around the corner. Then we had the 4th of July before that. So you were pretty much thrown right into the fire.
It was quite the onboarding process, yes,
Right.
And a very fun onboarding process. While it was a lot at one time, it was also, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. It was the opportunity to meet everybody at one time, which was great. And the opportunity for me to just kind of sit back and essentially audit the events and see how they're ran so that we can start from scratch moving forward, and being able to truly identify what works, what doesn't work, as a naked eye, somebody new to the scene, if you will. So it was a lot at one time, but it was also a lot of fun. So
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about what the Downtown Kingsport Association is.
So the Downtown Kingsport Association has been around for many years, especially as we're entering our centennial here. A lot of different celebrations going on. It's been fun to go back and look at the different archives and see where Downtown Kingsport Association has truly evolved from. And the vision and mission of the Downtown Kingsport Association is to truly bring together the community and to serve as, I like to say, for layman's terms, the information hub. You know, where if you don't know where to go to the Downtown Kingsport Association, ask questions, we'll lead you in the right direction. And with that, the main portion of the organization is to revitalize and to build up the community. We have what's called the 4-point approach, and that is comes from the Main Street program, which is a national organization. And then we have the Tennessee Main Street program. And Kingsport, Tennessee was actually the very first downtown city to become part of the Tennessee Main Street program. So there's 30 now, and in that we have the 4-point approach, which includes economic vitality, organization, design, and promotion. So we have 4 different committees that are broken down from our board, and of course chaired by a member of our board. And with that, we tried to put together our best strategic plan to make sure that the downtown area is continuing to thrive.
Now, you're not just downtown just to be downtown. You're actually working with businesses, you're working with the folks downtown, and obviously we have been termed the model city for many years, and that status is something I'm sure the DKA strives to keep at the forefront.
Yes, and so linking to what I had just said, you couldn't have said it better, the model city. You know, again, here we are, a part of the Tennessee Main Street program, and we are the very first city to become part of the Tennessee Main Street program and the National Main Street Program affiliation. So that said, we truly exemplify what the model city, what you would define model city as.
Right.
And so I think that's something really unique that we bring to the table, and I love that we are able to highlight all of the different merchants and our local industries here. It gives us a chance to showcase what Kingsport really is.
What does it mean to you, being the executive director, to be named for both main streets, and what does that actually bring to the city?
Well, it is an accreditation process that we have to go through every year. So, and it's very thorough. Although only being 5 weeks in, I have seen the files, and the files are thick. And so that said, It is very credible, and that is, to me, what goes and shows the behind the scenes work and the importance of holding that credibility and accreditation. Everything from your financials to your board to your bylaws. It's a very strict regimen, and to be able to stick to something like that, we're a staff of 2. My associate director, Emma Clark, that's one of the reasons why she can't be here today, is because we have to have somebody in the office. So being a nonprofit organization and having a staff of 2, to be able to pull that off takes a village of people. And so that goes to show not just the constituted effort and commitment from our board, but also our community.
And being accredited, that in itself is something that you can be proud of. But like you say, there is a whole lot of work that goes into that. And people don't realize that kind of holds your feet to the fire as an organization, as well as providing those services to the community that are professional.
Yes, and funny you mentioned that, and the services that we provide to the community. I had a conversation with the Renaissance Center and Theater Guild, the Cultural Arts, and they had brought up a really good point, and something that we are starting to do again, and it's some sort of surveying for all of the different events that we have going on around the Kingsport area. And the importance of that is to go and show what all of these nonprofits are actually bringing to the table. And what that is we're bringing jobs to the table. We're keeping companies in business, because of the things that we do. I mean, it requires a lot of labor. The 3rd annual wine festival we just had, for instance, we had to bring in, the tents, the wineries, the volunteers, the table rentals, the chair rentals. I mean, the list goes on and on, but we are putting jobs back into the area, helping sustain and maintain our local businesses, and that's why we try to really thrive on the shop local, buy local.
Now, I was going to ask you about, I know recently you all were featured in an article, Main Street, Tennessee, published by Ideal Living. And that's another kind of feather in your cap too as well.
Yes, and if you visit our homepage, actually, at downtownkingsport.org, you can follow that direct link there. And what's really neat about that is Ideal Living is a prestige publishing company, and so that said, the editorial that they wrote up it's beautiful, and we're right there compared to all of the other best downtowns in the state. So, I mean, it's something to be proud of. It's something that we like to showcase, which is why it's on our homepage. And it really encourages and educates a little bit more of who we are and what we do.
Now, we were talking about the Centennial Kingsport's 100th birthday coming up, and celebrations going throughout the year. But you all are trying to be as much a part of that as possible, right?
Absolutely. We want to create as much engagement in the downtown area, and not just the engagement, but the education. I think being a nonprofit, especially now, we are a 501c3, and part of being a 501c3, whether you're a charitable organization or not, is educating the people. And educating the people, again, not just on what we do, but the beauty of Kingsport and where Kingsport has come in the last 100 years. And so through that, we have partnered with the City of Kingsport and the One Kingsport initiatives, and many local downtown merchants and partners who have been able to help put these events together. It started with our New Year's Eve celebration, just entering in the new year. That was a fantastic party. Although I was not yet working for DKA, I did attend as a Kingsport resident, and it was fabulous. We have our Kingsport Centennial Park grand opening coming on August 26th. We had our July 4th celebration. There's always something going on throughout each month. Any little thing that we can do to promote Kingsport's 100th birthday and to show and recognize where we've come in the last 100 years is important.
Absolutely. Talk about some of the events that you're going to have going on for the rest of the year. You've got several coming up.
Yes, so as we just concluded our largest fundraiser, being the third annual wine festival, which was very successful. It was also the opportunity for us to start promoting the rest of 2017 events. And the Downtown Kingsport Association is also known for the Christmas tree
Lighting.
the Christmas tree lighting and church circle. And so what's most exciting about that is we will be getting ready to break ground to renovate the church circle grounds. And with that, we will also be getting a new Christmas tree for the Christmas tree lighting. So we're very excited about that. And we will also be doing the holiday loft tours, the Santa train, and that's all December. But those are events that are strictly centered around the Downtown Kingsport Association, and then the Santa train, of course, coming with the City of Kingsport and Chamber of Commerce as the leader of the PAX there. Coming up in September, we have the Eastman Road Race. We have in October, the Oktoberfest used to be held downtown, but it will actually be held at Gypsy Cider Circus this year.
All right.
November, there is, I believe, what's it called? Some sort of turkey trot. I can't recall the actual name of it.
That's all right.
So there's always
There's
something
all
going.
kinds, right, exactly. And we're going to be talking more with Melissa Sanders with the Downtown Kingsport Association and all their involvement that they will have in some of the upcoming events as well.